Good morning.
Good morning.
Woo! I was
How are
not
you?
ready for this. I was not ready. My
Uh,
glasses are on. I don't know if I need my glasses, if I don't need my glasses. I think I do. I just keep going from my book to the screen and then you're fuzzy and getting old really sucks.
really sick. Although I was just talking about blue light glasses.
I
So,
know. You're 11 years behind me too in the whole aging process.
yeah,
A
yeah,
lot happens in those 11 years.
right. Well, hopefully I delay some of the things.
Oh my word. Gosh. Well, yeah, because now we know more than what I knew before I got old. So
Yeah,
we'll just kind of experiment on you and see, did that really work?
I think the answer is yes.
All of it is yes. All of it is yes. Hey, good morning, everybody. It
Good
is good to
morning.
see you this morning. It's Tuesday morning. It is raining cats and dogs here, and it's gross. Just simply gross out. Is it gross in Anderson?
It's gloomy, and I feel like it
Yeah.
hit me really hard yesterday.
Yeah.
As you guys saw me during our group,
I was going to talk to you about that.
I was just dead. I think
You showed it in every fiber of your being.
I, you know,
Thankfully, we have Gary to let you know
you
that
know,
something was off.
I sat on the couch with the boys before bed, and my eyes were just like, you know how you get just dry and
Oh
just
yeah,
heavy.
yeah,
And I think it was because the weekend I didn't get much sleep. We had robotics, so we had to get up really early for that. And then
yeah.
I had church where we had to have an early practice. We had to be at church at 6:30, so means I had to wake up
You
at
got to
5.
be at church. You got to be at church. You
Well, yeah,
have to be there.
especially if you're leading worship. so
Oh
so like it
yeah,
was just a lot of like early mornings, and it's kind of like when you work out really hard and 3 days
yep.
later you're like, why am I so sore?
I know that
It's
was
like
last
that
night.
was yeah.
Mondays are tough for me. Mondays I coach. It seems like every one of my clients want a Monday spot. And so I do 9 hours back to back. And then every other Monday, I have two classes that at 7 and 8 because we have an addiction support group at 7 every Monday. And then we go to group. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun though. It's fun. Usually I had your back last night, and next Monday you'll have mine. So it all works out in the
You're not
end.
gonna show up next Monday.
Well, Gary better not be there because he'll let me know. He'll let me know that I look a little rough.
It happens, and I didn't have my face done, and I have this new zit on my face that showed up.
Oh yeah, yeah. We come as
Yeah,
we are. Like the song says, "Come as you are." We do that. We
we
absolutely do
do.
that. Glock,
We
Glock,
do.
come here.
Hey,
Slow me down.
everyone. I'm just going to give the spiel about, hey, if you're on here and you see us, go like,
Absolutely.
follow, and share. If you love what we have to say most of the weeks, then go ahead and follow whatever platform that you're on. Yeah, most of the weeks. They don't have to like us every week. Um, but we do what we can with the ideas that we come up with, and we just
Yep.
like to chit chat. We are real people, and we have our ups and downs.
Right. That is so
so,
right. I have a
so like, follow, and share from whatever platform you're on. Jump on here and say hey, and where you're from, where you watching from. We'd love to know if you also have any questions. We'd love to answer any questions that you might have. Today, can I introduce what we're talking about
Oh yeah,
today?
please do. Please
And then,
do.
and then I'll throw it to you because I want to be able to spin it.
Wait, something tells me there's revenge in this throwing.
No revenge. Today, we've been on this sugar kick, the sugar high of things. Did you get that?
Yes.
We're on a sugar high.
We're on a sugar high. Not
Um,
really, because I
not
haven't had
really.
sugar in 7 years.
We are relearning about sugar. We are relearning about some new sweeteners, some newer, some
Yeah,
newer in the past few years,
we've been watching it,
yeah,
right?
we've been
Yeah.
watching, and studies have been showing some amazing things. So, Monica, tell us
Yeah.
about this new finding that we have in
Yeah.
the sugar department.
Yeah. Well, as you
Sugar.
know, I am a licensed food addiction recovery coach. And so I always have to put a disclaimer out there because I have two ways of coaching. And if you're a food addict, if you're a sugar addict, then you know that you know where I stand on the matter of sweeteners. And there is a specific organized fashion as to how we implement even the fruits when it comes to sugar addiction because there is no moderation for a sugar addict.
Right.
When I say sugar, I mean all of the carbs, right? Because the carbs have the same impact on our body as table sugar, and so I always have to put that disclaimer out there. So if you are in my food addiction program, we have a different process that we follow. However, can you lose weight when you have sweeteners? If so, what sweetener should you use? Darcy, I'm going to throw it back to you. I want to talk about an evil one. Is aspartame
Yeah.
okay for any of our clients?
Yeah. I was not agreeing to that. I was processing. I was like, yeah, it is. No, actually,
No,
it's not. It's not
it's
great.
not. Never, ever.
You're gonna find that type of sugar alongside dextrose and the other one that's on the
Rat
unmentionable.
poison.
Yes,
Rat poison.
the rat
Right there.
poison. Aspartame is actually they've somehow dubbed it as a sugar that has zero effect on you. I think it, as I have seen it, it's in your diet, so it is. It's in a lot of preservative type filled meals. It's in everything. It's in your milk. It's in like just it's a nonsense.
A lot of people think it makes you lose weight, and you have these people that come to us, on 8 to 10 Diet Cokes and Diet Pepsis a day, and it actually makes you gain weight. Aspartame makes you gain weight.
I think it's because of the addiction that it causes your brain. It does something to your brain where it's like the scientists have done, and this is legit. There are scientific researchers out there that know of these chemicals and these sugars that are very addictive, you can't just have one bite. That whole phrase is legit. You can't just have one bite because it does something to your brain. And I believe in my world and my observation, I believe aspartame is much that. It's one of those.
We run from it. We run from it. In fact, sometimes, in my addictions program, I can't even have a client start with me to get off of sugar to do the detox until they get off of aspartame.
Mhm.
So sometimes we have to do a 2-level detox because we got to get rid of that Diet Coke first. And a lot of people think, well, if there's no calories, I'm going to lose weight. And you actually gain weight, folks. It's just absolutely astonishing. So we are going to cross aspartame right off the list at the top.
Yes.
We're going to cross sugar off the list at the top. We're going to talk about, can you lose weight while eating sweeteners? And the answer is yes, you can. So we're gonna talk about 2 lines of thinking here. Okay, we're gonna talk about losing weight and we're gonna talk about health. You have to separate those two. Our passion is getting our clients to go from losing weight, can I just get by on this, to how can I not get cancer? How can I live an extra 25 years and put that at the end of my life? How can I be healthy? How can I get rid of these metabolic issues that I suffer with? So we want our clients to go from, hey, I want to get in a bikini next summer to, I want to live 10 extra years, right? And so that's how we focus on our clients. To lose weight, absolutely. There are 0 calorie, there are low glycemic, 0 glycemic index sweeteners. Those things are like monk fruit, like erythritol, like stevia. Darcy, help me. What are some more?
Xylitol.
Xylitol, which, by the way, keep away from your pets.
Yes, if you have doggy, cats.
And your kids.
Yep. I think you mentioned them: erythritol, monk fruit, stevia, xylitol.
Yes. So there are 0 carb, 0 calorie, 0 glycemic index sweeteners such as those. Are there better of the best of those? And the answer to that is yes. So Dr. Nally, I love this book, y'all. Keto Cure, Dr. Adam Nally, really taught me a lot about how to see this in a picture form. Remember when we, let me let me talk about insulin for a second. So, in the presence of insulin, you cannot lose weight. When you have sweeteners, there are some things called glycemic index, and some are 0, some are 32. Sugar is 64. By the way, maltodextrin is 135.
Wow.
Crazy, but our politicians call this, sugar-free. The poor diabetics are hurting themselves by putting maltodextrin in their body. So
Yeah.
there's levels of how much does your sugar spike, okay? When your sugar spikes, your pancreas says, I'm releasing insulin. In the presence of insulin, you cannot lose weight. So you want to go with the 0 glycemic index sweeteners. However, Dr. Nally explained this. I might be giving the credit to the wrong guy on this. It might be Dr. Berry. One of those guys was talking about the insulin impact, whether your body may not spike glucose, but it may spike insulin because of this factor of the Pavlov's dog. Remember? Hello, Gretchen from Colorado. I just saw you said hello. Remember Pavlov's dog in psychology when we learn about that, right? So when they did a test on dogs. When you ring a bell and you feed a dog over and over and over, after a while, when you ring the bell, you don't have to feed the dog anymore, and he still slobbers because that body has been trained to when I hear this bell, I'm going to slobber because you're going to feed me. Same thing happens when you put a sweetener in your body. When you put a sweetener in your body and your mouth tastes that sweet, your pancreas says, oh, she's going to feed me a big cookie. I'm going to release insulin. In the presence of insulin, you cannot lose weight. That's why some of our clients, about 3/4 of our clients, stall when they have monk fruit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's just monk fruit. I don't know if it's sweeteners. That's one of the things we check when a client stalls is, are you having too much sweeteners? So you can absolutely stall yourself by having sweeteners. So when we talk about weight loss, we think about that. We think about the Pavlov's dog. We think about the insulin spikes. We think about all of those things when it comes to weight loss. When it comes to health, on the other hand, Darcy, and you're going to bring in a third one on baking, on the whole baking and how to use them, because that is not my expertise.
I mean,
you just kind of have it down because it's just a practical thing.
I go based
sweeteners
on
brown.
Actually, there are some. Yeah, I go based on taste, the type of baking that you're doing.
Right.
Like
caramelizing
versus browning versus, I know Swerve, that brand is a mixture of erythritol and stevia.
It has some probiotics in it as
some
well.
probiotics in there.
Yeah.
But it's that one I tend to lean towards, but not as much as my stevia. My latest one is I do I do a mixture of.
It's really strong.
It is, and it can be very bitter, so you don't need very much of it. So there's a lot of people that are like, well, I don't like stevia. You could be using too much of it. It does. I grow the actual plant yearly, and my boys call it the bubblegum plant. And they chew on the leaves, and you can slightly have that. If you have too much of the liquid stevia or even the powdered stevia, you can start to taste that as if you're chewing on a leaf. So there's things,
bitter.
Yeah, it is a little bitter. So you will eventually learn what your palate can handle. Some of those recipes out there, they give you full-fledged, like, let's do a whole entire cup of this Swerve or this erythritol, and I don't really care for erythritol because of the cooling effect that it does, like gum. But when you experiment and you do half and half, or like more of this one than that one, it does different things to your baking.
It's like you're mad scientist in the kitchen.
Yeah,
when you're cooking.
And for your own palate.
So according to Dr. Nally, by the way, this is a great book. He talks a lot about, he breaks down each and every kind of sweetener, and his recommendation at this, and I always have fallen back on this when I'm in my coaching because I really trust this guy. I've really found his stuff to be accurate. But he said, since I started using ketogenic diets in 2005, I found both personally and clinically that the combinations of stevia, FOS, which is a sugar fiber, and erythritol seem to give baked goods adequate texture and remove any aftertaste that the individual sweeteners have.
Yeah.
These combinations don't impede with weight loss or result in weight regain or cause adverse metabolic changes when used as a part of a ketogenic lifestyle. The other sweeteners listed in this chapter can limit your ability to lose weight. And all of those, he does the sugar alcohols, he does the monk fruits, he breaks each one of these things down. Mm-hmm. So the one that we are really kind of testing out that we haven't talked about is called allulose. And allulose is very, very fascinating. And it's something that I'm really considering switching all of my stuff to, because I don't bake, so I don't have to be a mad scientist in the kitchen. But you have had some experience with baking allulose. Allulose intrigued me because of this rage right now, this fake rage over fast, quick weight loss and the weight loss shot. It's a GLP-1. Mm-hmm. That is why people love this weight loss shot, because they don't have the food noise. They don't have they feel satisfied. They eat what they want. They feel satisfied. They walk away. That is what is intriguing. And what is happening with that is this GLP-1 factor. Dr. Nally also writes about this. I just literally 5 minutes ago saw this. You saw me oh my gosh, he's reiterating what we have said about this.
Yeah.
What they're saying about allulose is that it is a natural GLP-1 factor, which is absolutely fascinating for those people who are tired of being hungry all the time. Number one, the fat factor with the ketogenic diet helps with that. That's one of the benefits of the ketogenic lifestyle. You're not hungry ever. But the GLP-1 factor, he says in here, however, some research on allulose reveals that an insulin spike occurs 15 minutes after ingestion. Okay. This same study found that the blood sugar and limitation in weight gain with allulose is due to the hormonal stimulation of gut GLP that lasts for up to 2 hours, causing appetite suppression in different pathways of the brain, the feeding center regulation. This is quite exciting when you think about it. So I did a test yesterday. The other factor of allulose is it brings down your blood sugar. And I'm like, oh, no, it doesn't. I heard that from a physician here. I'm like, no, how could a sweetener bring down your blood sugar? So yesterday I tried it. I'm like, I put it in my coffee. I put a tablespoon in my coffee. My blood sugar was 88 before. When I tested an hour later, it was 83. I'm like, holy cow, this brought down my sugar. And then I tried some cream and it went up to 91. So, that factor was proof that I cannot handle cream. It's not a fasted state for me, which 91 is not bad. But what it told me was it broke my fast, right?
Yeah.
So I am fascinated with allulose, the blood sugar lowering factor, the GLP-1 aspect. And yesterday, I don't know if it was coincidence. It could have been in my head. It could have been, preliminary told, but I was not hungry until about 3:00. And I'm like, GLP-1, is this a potential? And the other thing was I liked it. Mm-hmm. I didn't have an aftertaste. I really, really liked it. I use liquid. I use RX Sugar brand.
Yeah.
It was liquid. I like the taste.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I am very, very intrigued by this. And this could be something that I've always recommended Swerve to our clients because it's got the probiotic, which makes your tummy kind of settle down a little bit. Mm-hmm. I'm intrigued by this.
Yeah.
I am intrigued by allulose.
So when I was reading up on allulose a while back, the greatest thing that I loved about it is that it is basically just fiber. Like that is what it is. It's fiber that goes into your gut. And I think that explains why it helps you feel full, because fiber kind of does that. You're suggested, have some fiber. When you're eating a fruit or a vegetable, you need to eat the whole thing that has the fiber in it. That's why juices are not great, because all the fibers are out. It's just pure sucralose or fructose. So when you are having a sweetener that is, acts as if it's sugar, but it is fiber, because with fiber, you don't digest fiber. It just goes in and out the way, it goes in and out. So you're not digesting it, So I think that is the great thing about how, learning about GLP-1 and knowing that our body naturally makes that, and we can naturally feed it the
Right.
GLP-1 versus having the synthetic stuff
Right.
through via shot, via whatever the
Yeah.
researchers are creating. I love that. If I can go towards allulose
Yes.
and be able to help my body with the gut stuff,
Mhm.
creating its natural, I'm all game for that.
Yeah, yeah, I'm excited about it because these sweeteners do make a difference. In fact, I'm going to talk about keto chow here for a few minutes because we haven't talked about sucralose. So sucrose is pure sugar. Sucralose is a natural form of sugar. It's not a sugar alcohol, is it? It's a chemical
Yeah, the sucrose
combination.
is a non-nut. I can't even speak today. It's newt. I can't say it. I can't say this N word here. Um, but it's not. I don't know.
It's not natural.
It's
Not
not
natural.
natural.
Okay, right. It's a chemical. Which people are like, well, Monica, did you drink Jordan skinny syrup when you were losing the weight? Yes, I did. But the fact of the matter is, what I was putting in my body was similar to aspartame. And so I don't like that. And so we had been a wholehearted promoter of keto chow for so long because we love what this stuff does. Like there it's amazing when our clients are like, how do I get protein? There's 27 grams of protein in this. How can we go wrong with this? Plus, if I need more fats, I choose what fat to put in this. Whether I want heavy cream, whether I want butter, whether I want olive oil, whatever it is, it adjusts. Like every package has. If you use this fat, this is what it is. If you use this, it's amazing. And I was really frustrated because they use sucralose. And I had a client come to me one time. She's like, you're recommending keto chow, but you tell us not to have sucralose. What do you mean? So I had really backed off of keto chow for a while. And it was frustrating because our clients love the protein and they love the fat. And they also have soups. They have a creamy tomato basil soup. They've got a chicken soup, a beef soup. And I'm like, why do they have to put crap in it? And so I messaged the company after they were saying, hey, you know, we got some sales coming up, and I'm like, I can't. I would, I'm an affiliate, but I can't recommend products that are hurting my clients. And so I got an email a couple of months ago that I didn't see for a while, and she said, hey, did you know we're making it with stevia now? And I'm like, wait a minute, shut the front door. You are. And she's like, let us send you what we've got going. So I am so excited to say that Keto Chow has heard us, and they now make these packets. This one is strawberry cream. They make them unsweetened, which you and I were talking. Like, what unsweetened? How did they? You could put your own in there, so you could use monk fruit in
Yep.
those, right? But they now make them with stevia, so we now can say, yay! Now here's the thing. I'm gonna plop the link up here. I'm gonna plop this link.
While you do that, like that to me, when a company does something like that, is striving to, be clean, be pure, be what they are wanting and striving to be, and they don't, even if they listen. And so that is a good company that listens, and that doesn't sell themselves out because of somebody else trying to buy them. Because we've seen that a million times in keto products where they get bought and sold, and they used to be good, and then now they're not. So
Primal Kitchen was just voted. Sure, it's just purchased by Kraft.
yeah,
I hope it's not true. I just hope it's not true.
right.
Now, here's the thing, guys. When you go on to this, I just plopped the link to Keto Chow. That's the direct link. Make sure when you go on here, you look at the ingredients because they're still making the other stuff. So just because you see like Snickerdoodle or something like that, the ones that I have seen that are, and they're called Core, Core. It's strawberry, chocolate, and vanilla. Those are the three. So make sure, don't just go buy anything on there. Make sure you check those ingredients before you purchase anything because they still make the other stuff. So they haven't switched everything over. So this particular line is called the Keto Core or the Keto Chow Core. I believe the soups are okay. I don't see any of the bad stuff. So just when you order from there, just make sure you check the ingredients and see. Oh, the other thing too, they have they sent me these. I'm just trying the citrus today. These are electrolytes. Um, Perfect ingredients. Probably double the potassium and magnesium that I've seen in any product. So those, I'm not unhappy with the taste of the citrus this morning. So there's a link. I always want to provide that for people who are like, what do we do? What do we do when we need the protein? I have not tried this. I'm really excited. After our session, I'm going to try this vanilla one and see. One thing I love about these, I miss pudding. I miss that. I loved pudding, and you can make pudding out of these just by using less liquid. It's really, really cool.
Well, with that, they also, I watch their stuff all the time. They always have so many creative recipes that you can do to make, use their protein powders to make things with, like, cakes or whatever like that. Yeah. Whatever they have, they've got fun things to do with it. So
I made a 90-second bread yesterday with the soup, the creamy chicken soup. This one's tomato.
Yeah.
But they had a card in there that says you can make 90-second bread with this soup. And it was garlicky, cheesy. It was really good. I was excited about it. So can you have sweeteners and lose weight and be healthy? All three of those. Like a three-legged stool. You can do sweeteners, and lose weight and be fine, but you can put cancer in your body because you're putting crap in your body. Yeah. But can you be healthy? So that's what we wanted to talk about today. Is the answer is yes. Mm-hmm. You can eat the most delicious desserts and you just have to switch your ingredients up to other natural stuff versus the fake stuff.
Yep.
What's your number one tip? Okay, so put your science baking hat on. What is your number one tip when you're in the kitchen and you're using sweeteners? Well, first of all, we didn't say this. Allulose is not as sweet as regular sugar. So 1.25 cups equals a cup of sugar.
Yes.
So that's the ratio, in the science of that. But what is your number one tip when somebody says, "Hey, go make us some chocolate chip cookies"? What is your number one tip in using sweeteners and substituting ingredients in those?
I think for me, it comes down to texture. That's why I'm not a big fan of erythritol. And granular erythritol is the worst. It just, anything granular to me, just if I have to taste and crunch into something, I'm not okay with it.
That said, for my personal taste, I love the fat bombs, the chocolate chip cookie dough fat bombs, because it tastes like cookie dough, because in cookie dough there's sugar, right? And you have a little bit of crunch, minus that fact. But when you do the powdered erythritol in those, it has a whole different entire taste.
There's a texture thing, and a lot of people don't care for almond flour products because it's the texture. And so then when you have the almond flour on top of, the granular, it tends to be grainy and it falls apart. So there's certain sweeteners that you can use, a combination of them, that will help hold things together. If you use extra fine almond flour, you're going to have less texture as well. So, you're talking about your 90-second bread. I use, certain things like extra fine almond flour, or I would use confectioner's sugar, sweetener, or grind
also blend the granular. Have you ever done that?
Yes, I was literally going to say you do this.
You and I are just like, we're so insane.
Thing is, I have a little bit of ADHD or ADD, and then I'm like lose train of thought. Anyway, you can grind it up if you don't have it in a blender or food processor, so that you don't have that. You can blend those the almond flour and your granular sugar together, or your sweetener together, so that you have like that texture. But like we were saying with allulose, it browns things a little better. It can, you just see certain bindings. You just have to experiment to see what your own palate likes. That's the secret. And I watched some of those YouTube where shows where some of those ladies that love baking, they make, so I think the protein sparing bread, they found different things to add to the bread. And every single time they'd bake it, and they would write it down what they did different, and then they would see what texture that they liked the most. There's just like scientists for keto foods, and I think since keto is a little bit new, then you're gonna find that not everything's gonna be perfect up front. So
if I had a cool kitchen, I might be able to be a scientist. But my kitchen is 120 years old, and so
you can go be what are those? The homestead makers. Those are like ancient, and they use
stuff. I follow one of those on TikTok. Yeah, they're pretty. But my kitchen doesn't even look like that. It just looks like 1960 happened.
Just take all the doors off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See everything.
I know. Yeah, I would love to be, but I'm so busy. I just don't have time.
So in the baking world, don't give up. Allulose, I have 2 tablespoons. I was telling Monica, I'm like, I put 2 tablespoons of the powdered in my tea, and I can hardly taste the sweet in there. So it might be something where I just have to get used to it because I'm so used to stevia. But it could be that it's powdered versus, with your liquid.
Liquid, yeah.
It could be more.
I'll have to try it because I did get some granular ones, but I've been using my liquid.
Yeah.
It's called the brand that I got is just a Kroger's. It's RX Sugar. But you can get it on Amazon. You can get it anywhere. So yeah, do some experimentations. Let us know what you find.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear from you. We love to know what you're finding. But it's just a simple matter of tweaking some of the things to live your lifestyle so you don't gain the weight back, so that you live as healthy as you can. And, I had sucralose for the first part of my journey. Now I've decided I want to remove that because I want to remove the chemicals.
Yeah.
So learn to do one thing at a time. Learn to do one healthy thing at a time.
I would also add, when you are purchasing a sweetener that we have mentioned, just do your research on the brand. All brands are not created equal. These like monk fruit, allulose, those types of sweeteners. I think there's even another one, Boca Sweet. That one's like a root. But those sweeteners are more of like a rare type of sweetener. So how are they able to mass produce something? And, you just got to ask yourself questions saying, okay, this is mass produced and it's cheap. Why is it cheap? Well, it's just like olive oil and how they add the synthetic man-made oils to thin it out. They add other things to it, or they get it from another type source that they can consider it allulose, right. Or monk fruit. Bottom line, do your research on the brandings. Don't trust every single one of them.
Right. Yeah, that's good advice.
Yeah.
And experiment. And just because, did you know our taste buds change every 9 days? That's crazy. I just read that.
That's why we detox our people.
Huh?
That's why we detox our people.
I know. Yeah. That's why detox works. You're right. Because I hated avocados when I first started. Now I just give me an avocado with pink salt and I am just going to hug you.
Yeah.
So just because you try it, one time and you don't like it, doesn't mean, or just because I've had a lot of people say, oh, I tried that keto cookie and it tasted cold. Cool. Well, that's because they made it wrong.
Yeah.
That's because the wrong ingredients were used or the wrong ratio was used. So just because you try something doesn't mean it was made right. And just, doesn't mean, or that maybe your tummy hurt after it, because some of these sugar-free items really mess over your stomach.
Yeah.
I don't tell people that I make keto food because keto food is regular food, but I do let people know that I've used sweetener just because if they're sensitive to that, it could mess up their stomachs a little bit.
So true. So
that's our show today, guys. We are having a good week. Good coaching week.
Yeah.
If you need help, if you're struggling on the weight loss journey, you don't want one of those shots. You want to do it naturally. We are your people. Pick up the phone, give us a call, sign up for one of our free health assessments. We kind of don't take clients anymore without a health assessment because we have so many different programs, because we want to make sure that you are in the right one. We
Mhm.
do not want you in the wrong program. And so we have so many options now based on individual needs, based on if you're a woman, if you have metabolic issues, if you have addictions. So sign up. Up at the top left-hand corner of your screen, you're going to see a QR code that will link you directly to Coach Darcy and myself. And just go in there, find where we have our free health consultation links, and sign up. So we are here every Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we will be here next Tuesday. Did I say Wednesday?
I don't. I
We're
don't.
on Tuesdays.
I think we're on Tuesdays.
And we
on at
did a
11.
surprise one on Friday. We did a surprise
Yeah.
pop-up show.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, we did. Can you believe we just had a whole 30-minute conversation about sweeteners?
I cannot believe it. And we probably could talk some more.
We
Because
probably
we'll
did.
find some more things.
Yeah.
All right, guys. You have an amazing rest of your day. Stay blessed. Stay warm. Wait for the sunshine. For all of you people in Florida, we hope that you enjoy your sunshine. We hope you send some up our way.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Bye.